is Jade Bolden and welcome to my video. Today we're going to talk about Purify. And Purify is a fantastic blend. It's the cleansing blend. Okay, so Purify, in a nutshell, it helps clean air and surfaces. It helps deodorize the air. It helps with seasonal allergies, helps with blemishes and acne, helps with insect repellent, and it's great for bug bites and stings, fantastic for laundry, and emotionally it's the oil of purification from negativity, hate, and controlling and other negative emotions. All right, so let's look at Purify. The oils are very simple. There's 6 only. So we have lemon, we have Siberian fir, citronella, which you know is great for bugs and stuff, lime, melaleuca, and cilantro. Alrighty, so it's an oil that I love using for cleaning mostly. I diffuse it in the diffuser on Saturday mornings to get everyone in the cleaning mode, and I use it on the carpets, and I use it in the laundry, and you know, it just helps us feel, and you know, it just feels clean. That's all. It's very crisp to me. Anyways, it has a crisp smell to it, so it's, you know, if you're used to like the pine sol smell, well, it's sort of like that, but natural. Okay, so I always go from body, mind, and spirit. So we have a few ideas and things to do with this Purify for the body. So you can cleanse surfaces. So you can see on the screen the glass spray bottles. You can get any size glass spray bottles, but if you get a small one, you use about 10 drops in that one and fill it up with water. If you use a bigger bottle, of course you use more oils, that's all. So it's up to you, but you know, it disinfects surfaces, you know, because we have lime and lemon and stuff. So that's how I would use it. Okay, so shake it up every time you need to use it, and that's a fantastic surface cleaner. It just cleans the air so well. So if you have a stink or you're cooking something and the house smells, you just diffuse it, and within a short time, maybe half an hour, your house should smell much better. So it's amazing. I don't know how it does it. So that's amazing to just diffuse that. Car diffuser. Okay, put it in your car diffuser, because you know sometimes your car has that stuffy smell. If you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. So we recently got a new car and we realized, like, whoa, the whole car was really smelly. You know, just put a few drops in your car diffuser to help it feel fresh and clean again. Of course, you know, you vacuum it clean, but it still has that old stuffy smell. Okay, so you know, it's amazing for lymphatic drainage and detoxification. So if you put it on the bottom of your feet, it kind of helps break down things and helps things flow better, you know, through your body. Kind of breaks down old mucus. That lime breaks down old mucus, and lemon breaks down the new softer mucus, and cilantro helps remove heavy metals, and melaleuca, you know, helps with cleansing the things that are stuck in there, the bacteria and the fungus and parasites. Just amazing. So you can rub it on the bottom of your feet. I mean, you know, sometimes you just use one oil in one way all the time, but here's another way of using it. Okay, there's plenty of other oils that help with lymphatic detoxification. You know, you can shake it up and change it out, and use this and use that. All right, seasonal support. All right, so that's another way of saying allergies, right? Your body knows how to function optimally when it has less interference. So if your cells, if you imagine your cells as like a cup, if you have toxins and medications and you know, I think liquid plastic, that's what I call the really bad oils, you know, canola, margarine, right? If that's inside of you, you know, and you've got layers and layers of gunk inside your cells, I mean, one speck of dust is the you know, the straw that breaks that camel's back, right? So you want to clean your cells up, but these oils actually help clean it out and calm yourself as you go. So the more clean your cells are, the more tolerant your cells are, and of course, you know, you experience less, you know, histamine responses. Okay, so over the years I had 30 odd allergies, and I've been able to help myself heal from all that. All right, it doesn't have to be, you're not born with that much. Some of us are now, but you know, you develop it over time because you have more toxins added to your load. Okay, so our cells have fat in there. The fat is where the toxins are held, and it's protecting you. So the oils actually liberate the fat along with the toxins. Okay, and that you have to remember to drink lots of water. If you're going to rub oils on the bottom of your feet for seasonal support, you can apply it to the bottom of your feet for that as well. I mean, it's lymphatic drainage, and it helps with the seasonal support. But also remember to drink a lot of water. Okay, so skin blemishes, you know, like Melaleuca is fantastic. Citrus oils are fantastic for the skin if you use it in the evening, because we have that issue of photosensitivity. So say when the sun goes down and you've got something, you know, you put it on those spots. If you just have Purify, it does help with the discoloration too, in fact. But remember, you've got to be careful. You don't want to expose your skin to sunlight within a 12-hour of using that oil. Okay, so that's the other thing. So bug repellent, you have the Terra Shield, but you can also use this Purify as well. I spray it on the window seals, you know, so the bugs don't crawl in between. And if I have the windows propped open, even though I have a fly screen, sometimes we have those little critters that try to sneak in. You know, the door frames, I do that too. Sometimes you open the door and you close the door, and then, you know, in between, underneath, I just wanted to keep things clean, so I do it that way. But you can also put fractionated coconut oil with your Purify. You can still use a bottle, a spray bottle if you like. For those people who've been using oils for a long time, you have probably lots of 15 ml empty bottles. So use it up, you know, add a bunch of Purify in there, fill it up with fractionated coconut oil, shake it up, and then you can spray it on your clothes when you go out. You know, if you're out camping in the evening, you can spray it on yourself too. All right, so just remember the lemon and the lime in there. Just be careful. All right, so fantastic for laundry. If you have sticky laundry, just go ahead and put about 3 or 4 drops in your wash, and it'll go through your wash, okay, and help kill the germs and make it smell better. Tiled floors, you can actually just do this with plain water, just warm water and the oil, but you can add, of course, your soaps and stuff too. I use the On Guard concentrate, just a spoonful of that in a hot water bucket, and then add extra oil in, and you can mop the floors, and it's all clean, the whole house, just the one, you know, bucket. So pretty awesome. Save a lot of money and save your life. And I know a lot of people, if it's not bleached, it's not clean, and I think it's just poison and it's not worth it. Okay, so let's go to the mind. All right, so Purify is the oil of purification. All right, can you see how amazing it is on the physical level, cleansing your home, your physical environment like that? It does that for your emotional levels as well. So for those who feel trapped, negative, toxic, hate, rage, and controlling, okay, you know, all that is fear emotion, and this helps you relax and let go of those toxic ideas and thinking. The positive emotion that it helps you feel is feeling unencumbered, cleansing, purifying, and releasing. Right? Just relief. So for those people who have a tendency to feel discouraged, diffuse this oil a lot and retrain your brain until you feel happy, right? So 2 to 3 drops in your diffuser, just smell it, and then catch yourself when you're thinking negative thoughts. Some of us are very good at identifying things that we don't like, but we don't know what we do like. So make a list of what you do like and create joy. All right? Create joy instead of complaining about what you don't want. All right? Because you're not creating anything by doing that. It doesn't help any. Okay? So the cleansing and decluttering your life. If you have clothes all over the floors, dishes undone, and you're backed up and you're behind on things, if you have a gazillion emails, your purse has got receipts and stuff, then you need to slow down, pause, diffuse the Purify, and then declutter. Once you declutter, I promise you, you will shed extra weight too. Your brain will clear up and life becomes less complicated than you think it is. Okay, so diffuse that oil, and you can have this beautiful affirmation: I am unencumbered and light and free. Okay, I am unencumbered, light and free. All right, so when your world is organized, your brain is going to be unencumbered and less overwhelmed. So I make a few rules for myself. For example, I say by the end of the day, I have to have under 10 emails. Okay, so I make sure I pick a time here and there to keep the emails clean. I unsubscribe to things that I feel like, I haven't gone to that store or that thing in about 2 months. So really I'll unsubscribe it because I don't need it. When I need it, I'll find it again. Okay, and my bed, make sure that I fix my bed in the morning, because it kind of it creates a really good atmosphere. It's like a rite of passage, moving through and saying, this is the day start. This is the start of the day. All right, and clothing too. Organize it, color code. When you put it in right the first time. Don't drop things on the floor. Anytime I put things on the floor and I think, I'm going to come back and get that. No. I think, no, it's like putting another thing onto my body that I don't want and need. All right, after a while, I'm going to carry a lot of that weight because my subconscious remembers it's there and that I have to go back there. Okay, so I'm done, and unattached. So, okay. Alrighty, so I have an activity for you. It's called Organize Your Plate. The first thing we need to do, okay, because we want to, some people complain about, I've got too much on my plate, I can't handle it. And sometimes the people who know how to organize well, who know how to manage themselves well, they can do a lot of things and become very productive and still be happy and still be healthy. Right, so this is how you do it, and I learned this over the years, so I'm going to share it with you. So identify all the things that you are responsible for. I used to think, I'm a mom and I'm la 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 la, and so it goes around and around in circles and it feels like it's a lot. So what you want to do is just write it down. Even if it's a post-it note, you can write it down, or a piece of paper, and make a list. And then you find that, you really have, some people you really have a lot. Some people you really don't have as much as you imagine you do. Okay, and then what I do is I hand it all to God. Disconnect, unattach. All of the things I love and care about and worry about, hand it back to God. It's all yours, okay? Because I want to set that priority where He comes first. And then, when your plate is empty, pause for a moment and relax. Release that tension, all right? Put aroma touch on your shoulders if you need to, and then put things back on your plate. But consecrate all of that. So this here is my family. This here is my work. Here is my spouse. This here is my friend. And whatever it is, organize it, okay? And then on that new plate that you have, you make sure that some of the things that you put on your plate, that's the things that you can carry. And the things that, you look at some of the things you might not want to put back on your plate. So you have to figure out a way to get out of it or cancel or stop it. Okay, so you don't have to be part of the PTO of the elementary school, of this middle school, and of the high school for all your kids. All right, you don't have to be part of all the clubs and all the book clubs and all the whatever. Okay, choose one or two things. Like with my children, I tell them every semester of school you can have one thing, one extracurricular if you want to. If you don't, that's fine. Okay, so because we really don't have to encumber ourselves. I mean, how many people do you know that did dance when they were little and they're still doing dance now? It's really, does it help with the future? Maybe, maybe not. So it doesn't have to be, you don't have to do certain things because society asks you to. All right. So when I do that, I find that my tasks, I only have a few and I can do it. And then when you do it though, you choose to do one thing at a time, and as you do that one thing, you focus on just that one thing. You don't let your brain go forward and just go, oh, okay, I need to do all those things tomorrow and the next day. No, you focus on being here and present and now. Okay, so when I put my hat on as a mommy, I'm a mommy time. All right, so this is what I do. This is what I do when I'm, wife time. Focus on the husband. Don't worry about the kids for now. Just focus. And it's a fantastic skill to have. All right, because when I start worrying, I am really telling myself, look, there's an evidence that you lack faith. You're handing it all to God, right? You're only taking one thing off the altar at a time. All right, so everything that's still on the altar, He's going to take care of it. While I'm with my kids, my business is going to be fine. Okay, while I'm, with my husband, these other things will be fine, right? So while I'm doing business for that hour, the family will be fine. And if it's not fine, then it's God's will, okay? So I let that go, and it's so liberating, you guys. Okay, so you don't have to control the world. Hand that will back to God. But this lovely oil will help you release all that attachment, okay? So the reason why we're overwhelmed is because in our heads, we feel like we have to do it all now and, all at once. All right. So, we got all those things to do, and your happiness is out there. When all this is done, I'm going to be happy. But really, when are you done being a mom? When the dishes are all done and the house is all clean, but then you're going to eat again, So can you detach your happiness from those silly things? Okay. Be happy just to be. All right. So when I learned that, so liberating, guys. So here's an affirmation for you. I release the urgency to do it all now and at once. Here's another one. I am enough and deserving of all good blessings in the world. So when you know that you're deserving of all good blessings, guess what happens? You think, I can take it one thing at a time. So it's like, look at all the things on my plate to eat. Well, guess what? You can eat it all if you have the appetite for it. But one thing at a time, okay? Just one bite at a time. You don't take one bite and look over there and go, I gotta eat that one now too. It just doesn't make sense. Alrighty, so the spirit. All right, so the lemon and the lime makes this oil great for the second and third chakra, which is action, right? And all together though, it's a white oil. All right, it's a label. The label's white, so that means it's more of the seventh chakra, which is, you have, to have this spiritual vision, this far-sightedness. When you are caught in the day-to-day, the physical, the material stuff, you are short-sighted, and Purify helps you clean through all that gunk and see clearly the, spiritual, the eternal end in mind, right? So that you don't get caught up and then sucked in, and then, I'll give you an example. We all have stuff, we all have issues and things that we need to deal with, but some of us deal with it better than others. One lady, she said, I was so spiritual, and it was so good, and then when this happened and this happened and this happened, I was like, and I forgot all about God. And I said, you know what, the purpose of this earth is actually to see if you can choose God still in and amongst the trials and the obstacles, not when things are, happy and perky and sunny and rainbowy, right? Okay, when there's unicorns and rainbows, of course you're happy and you're grateful and stuff, but when it rains and it storms, you run the opposite direction, right? So this here helps you clear through that, so you're not attached and you're not caught up in all your gunk and stuff. All right, one lady, she was upset because she had all these lists of things that's happening to her, and then she was mean and rude to her friends, and I reminded her, And, you know, she got offended even more. And then I talked to her later on and she's like, oh, I lost all those friends. You know what? That's the test, right? Can you still be loving and God-like and have that eternal perspective when things are not so peachy, right? So this is why it's so cool to have a positive energy, a positive friend, which is the Purify, to be with you all the time, to fuse that and help you remember to choose, you know, spirituality, light, even during the dark times. And when you get really good at that, when things happen, you don't let those things affect your happiness because it's not that important. A few years ago, right before we moved to the US, my husband and I had a very big accident. Our car tipped over and it was run over, and then ran over by a truck again. But we were okay. And, you know, we could have been like, whoa, you know, and being dramatic and, you know, cancelled our trip and all these things. But we didn't need to. We weren't attached to the car. We weren't attached to the money, right? We were focused on our path and our purpose. And it was uneventful for us. Same with my mom when she had her cancer. For us, we weren't attaching that happiness to a certain outcome. Okay, and we were confident and just said, look, let's do this. And it was very gentle, no fanfare. Okay, and things were resolved and we were still happy. Okay, so remember, guys, to choose happy. I had a lot of friends that just come to me, I need help. And what happened was they're just so caught up in things that they don't like, things that are not working right. And then I said, okay, let's do some fear setting, which is an activity where we face our fears and then we list out all the things that could go totally wrong, and then we write down our game plan. If this happened, this is going to be my response. If this happens, I'm going to do this, and this is how I'm going to resolve that. And so we have a game plan to attack any of those things that ever happens, okay? And then we're good. And then you no longer need to look over there at the dark cloud because you know what it looks like already. Okay, so you're not curious. So you use that creative energy which you have inside on the positive. And guess what? A lot of us don't know what we want. I say, well, what makes you happy? Well, I just help people. I'm like, well, that's kind of vague. Well, you know, I said, what are you good at? Your identity is more than somebody's mum. Your identity is more than somebody's wife. Okay? You have a special purpose on earth and you must serve it. Or else you'll feel dark, or else you feel unfulfilled. Right? If you want to shoot your children to shoot for the stars and be successful, you need to do it first. If you want the kids to be happy, you need to find happy first. Otherwise, who are you kidding? They don't know happy unless they see happy. Okay? So one way to do that is for you to clean out all the muck and the guck. I'm making up words. That you can just remove, and then you see the light. And Purify is an oil that can help with that. Isn't that great? Yes, it is. So guys, I hope you enjoy it. Hope you smell it and use it to get rid of the old and then incorporate the new. Remember, you need to get rid of some old stuff too. And then sit down and identify what it is that really make me happy. All right, and it might be a tough job. Give yourself a couple of weeks, months, and then refine it each month and each year. All right, and it gets better and better as you allow yourself to dream, as you allow yourself to be an individual. All right, and then bless the world. Alrighty, that's all from me. Hope you enjoy Purify. And if you have any comments and questions, please do that below on my website, jadebolton.com/purify. If you do not have a doTERRA account, go to the person who sent you this video. If it's me, come to me and I'll help set you up an account. And it's awesome. It's just $35 for the US, it's wholesale, no obligations, and you do what you want. And if you do want to do this as a business and share it with people, talk to me, because my friends make money. Talk to you soon.